All right, guys, what's up? Lyceum here, episode 7. We're just hanging out tonight, going to have some fun, and we're going to be talking about some different things. The first thing that I wanted to start off talking about was the video that's going around on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, and it's my boy, this Vato dude, and he's honestly looks like he's having the best time of his life. All right, and I'm kind of jealous of him. He has no care in his world right now, and he's. If you guys have seen it, he's drinking his. I think it's like grape cranberry juice or something.
It was Ocean Spray.
Ocean Spray.
Some cranberry juice.
That dude's freaking skateboarding on the freeway. It looks like, and Fleetwood Mac's Dreams is going on. And all right, so I just had Pedro and Andrew watch it. And I wanted to ask both of you guys how it made you feel when you watched that video. Inside your heart, how did it make you feel?
I've always said that while I am I can disclose my age. While I am only 27, I always felt like my soul was 80 something. And dude, I love Stevie Nicks. So seeing that dude and when he is just chilling down the street, I feel like that's like part of the American dream right there. That was it. You're just free and chilling and doing your thing and rolling out. So it just made me think back to how I wish I was, back in that time. But God placed me here. How about you, Andrew?
For me, I start watching and I'm like, all right, at first I think this dude's got a bottle of, I don't know, some type of liquor because he's chilling so hard, But then I see the Ocean Spray and I'm like, dang, this dude is just feeling life, like he's loving his life, like Zach said. And
well, he is high.
Okay, so he's faded
100% on his Instagram.
All right,
he's a mad stoner, but
all right, regardless. So he's
outside of that.
Well, can I say this really quick? We do all know that the Ocean Spray is spiked, right? That bottle says
Ocean.
Dude, that bottle says
it
Ocean
was
Spray,
juice. It was
there.
Cranberry juice.
It looked refreshing. I'm gonna tell you, when I first saw that video, I felt, like I said, I was extremely jealous, and it made me feel nice and warm inside my heart, dude. I was just like, dude, I've never seen anyone skateboard on a freeway.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And 2, I've never seen anyone skateboard on a freeway without a care in the world that a car might run him over. He was on the on-ramp, like a regular car, looked over his shoulder, and just started slowly getting over.
He merged.
He merged.
Dude merged on a skateboard. Now, I also thought it was cool that he clearly does not care what anybody thinks about him and his vibe. Oh, that was cool. I'm like, dang, he's just living his life and does not care what anybody else thinks, and that's cool.
He's on. If you go on his Instagram, he really does not care what anyone thinks. Because if I would have just seen that video, I would have thought that dude was the coolest dude ever. Okay, so after that video, I saw his Instagram, and he's not that cool.
He's not.
He's really weird.
Oh.
He's like when Step Brothers, when the guys show up in the interview with the tuxedos on.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, at first Seth Rogen's like, you guys are cool, you guys are down to earth, and then he farts and he's like, okay, now the tuxedos are a little weird. That's what just happened. Dude's really weird. He's a fat stoner and he's really weird. But that video is the coolest video I've ever seen. So let us know what you guys think about that video. How it made you feel when you first saw it. If you still think he's cool. If you still think he's weird.
Yeah, we'll post the link in the description. Definitely drop a comment. So what do we got in store, guys? Zach, you want to run us through our stuff?
All right, so while we were sitting here real quick, we were informed that this happened, I think, it was either 40 minutes ago, I think?
So just for reference, it is October 1st,
yeah.
11:50 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, so 40 minutes ago on the East Coast, obviously, the President Trump tweeted that him and his wife have COVID-19.
Yeah.
So
we got to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that real quick. And real quick, I'm just going to say what I think before Pedro and Andrew get into this, because I'm always just a little bit off on what they think. I think that is fake. I think it's fake news, as President Trump would say. It's fake news. He has a thing for Twitter where he just says stuff that doesn't mean anything at all. And after this debate happened, which we're also going to talk about, we're going to be talking about the debates. After this debate happened, I think it almost seems comical that Trump would post something like that, especially after being hounded about the COVID situation and the mask situation. I could see him just kind of saying, "Oh, me and my wife got COVID," and then later on, kind of be like, "Psych, no, we didn't."
Okay.
That's what I think.
Can I say what I think first now?
Go for it.
Okay, so here we go. I'm kind of on a little bit because you guys just told me this. After hearing what Zach said, I'm kind of on that same train. But my thought also goes back to, if this guy survives this and he uses a certain procedure that he's been promoting the whole time, it'll look so good, because he'll come out as a guy who has now personally like done it and went through everything that he said he did, and now he's fine. So it'll kind of like,
Yeah, and he doesn't not exercise. He's against exercise. He has said that exercise to him is like a waste of time, basically. So him getting COVID, if he really has it, and if he gets over it, that is something to say. Like you just said, Pedro, if he gets over that, like, I'm sure his diet's not on point. It looks like it's not on point. He doesn't eat healthy. Well, I wouldn't say that, but those are the big factors in people who got it and they died.
Age, he's old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and he's in his 70s.
So, all right, for me, I think it's true because, for one, this doesn't help him in any way. Him getting coronavirus does not help him at all. It looks really bad for him because everybody's been talking crap like, hey, your rallies are way too big. You're not practicing the proper precautions. Why don't you wear a mask? Bro, wear a mask. Everybody, wear a mask. For the love of God, please wear a mask. And he says at the first presidential debate that just happened, he said he wears a mask when it's necessary, and he pulled one out of his pocket. But I think that's the first time he's probably ever said that. So this doesn't work in his favor. And on his Twitter page, we do know he'll say a lot of stuff. He has to be tweeting in bed sometimes because his tweets come out. Well, I don't know. He's the president. He might be working all hours of the night. But anyways, a couple tweets. So 4 hours ago, from his Twitter account, Hope Hicks, who has been working so hard without even taking a small break, has just tested positive for COVID-19. Terrible. The First Lady and I are waiting for our test results. In the meantime, we will begin our quarantine process. That was 4 hours ago. 1 hour ago. Tonight, Flotus and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together. And then if you look at Melania's page, also 1 hour ago, as too many Americans have done this year, POTUS and I are quarantining at home after testing positive for COVID-19. We are feeling good, and I have postponed all upcoming engagements. Please be sure you are staying safe, and we will all get through this together. So it seems like they're actually releasing truthful statements here. And again, I just think because it doesn't work in his favor at all, thered be no reason for him to conjure this up. Like, I could see it as a publicity stunt if it was a good thing, but this is not a good thing. And real quick, one other thing, if he recovers from, which he, most likely will, because as we all think, it's not as bad as it's being played up to be. But even if it was really bad, he's a president of the United States. They're going to use the absolute best treatments that are available, regardless of what anybody believes, you know?
Okay, so like Pedro said, if he has it, he gets over it, he could use that to his advantage. Could that help him?
I think, okay, if I could chime in here for a second, really quick, my roaming fear in the background is that I am left with Biden in an unfortunate event that it is Trump's time. because I just don't want to be left with this man. Please, God, don't do that to me. But I don't see how, dude. Do you want?
Come
Okay,
on, man.
so we're talking about the lesser of two evils here. I don't even see him as that evil. Like, I'm looking at my options, and I don't want to be left with the other. That's purely what I'm saying here, guys. I'm not gonna ask you who you guys want to vote for, because I think that's too cornering. But if he gets
well, let's
through
move into the
COVID 19, no, we
go
should
ahead.
get into debates. No,
Yeah,
you're right.
no,
We
no,
should
no,
get
no,
into
no,
debates.
I didn't know you were gonna keep going down there. Go ahead though.
Okay. Well, just as long as he gets through it, if he uses the certain technique that he's been talking about the whole time and he does survive, it's something that he can say over the microphone like, it worked. It worked.
Right.
People are being scared about mandatory vaccines right now in some blue states. So what that's going to do is help Trump say, you don't need to mandatorily take the vaccine, but you have the option to take the vaccine if you so choose to. Because why? There's a treatment that actually works that I went through it myself.
He's pushing really, really hard for the vaccine, not necessarily mandatory vaccines, but keeps saying the vaccine is going to be here very soon. Like in the debate, he said, I think 6 weeks time. So he's playing up the vaccine.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But
he's
no.
producing a vaccine, but the key point here is it mandatory? Will I still be able to, like, go to work? In some states, they're saying you're going to have to start, like, hey, show me that you took the vaccine in order to come into work today.
Pedro, where are you located right now?
I do not want to disclose my location. I escaped.
Just give us a state. Just give us a
There's people
state.
mad at the last episode. They want you. Tell
Okay.
us where you're
Give
at.
us a
They
state.
want me? No. Give you the state? Okay. Well, I can tell you this about
Are
the
you
state.
all right? Are you in California? Just answer that.
I'm not in California. So guess
All
what?
right, so
I'm
Pedro's
better
not in
armed now.
California, and I am in California right now. But Lord willing, that's not going to be for long.
Yeah, this is probably super confusing because the last 2 episodes, I think just 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew has been in Texas. He's back now. He hated Texas. He said, I'm moving back to California.
Fed up.
Pedro,
Escaped.
in
Just
that
say
same
escaped.
time said, I'm sick of California. I'm moving to somewhere else.
Done.
Zach, dude, I'm a rider. California. I'm gonna stick with you till you make me get the mandatory vaccine, then I'm out.
He's waiting till the final straw on the camel's back because right
Ah.
now they're
Wait,
pushing hard.
Wait, so you wouldn't get the vaccine, Zach, if and when it's produced?
No.
No?
No.
Andrew?
I don't even get a flu.
True. Andrew, what about you?
No, I wouldn't take a mandatory vaccine.
You think this is the military, Pedro?
Okay.
Getting in a line, taking shots.
Well, I'm not saying. Well, I don't want to discredit the vaccine. I don't want to. I think the only thing about it is whether it's being mandatory or not mandatory. That's the only thing that I have a point of contention with, because I've had, like you said, when I was in the military, some shots given to me that I didn't know squat about. They just said peanut butter shot in the buttocks, and it's over. So
How come they say shot?
I think it's because it's a mixture of it's like a multiple of them all at once when I was in boot camp. Yeah.
Plus a few testing, vaccines.
No, we
mixed in
gave you
there.
that.
They're like-
We gave you that COVID shot years ago, dude.
yeah.
Oh man.
That was in the peanut butter shot.
You were the test subjects. We wanted to see how it would go.
Hey, but you know what's crazy though is like, we're all me and Zach are saying we wouldn't take a mandatory vaccine. I don't know where you stand yet, Pedro. I'm sure you're gonna say no, you wouldn't. But I know people who are pro-vaccine and they're like left, but still are concerned a little bit about the vaccine because of the speed that it's being produced. It's never been produced at this speed before. So how can they make sure that it's effective and safe moving at these rapid speeds? So I know people that are concerned about that. And they don't have political ties to the right. They don't care about vaccines causing damage, nothing like that.
Dude, I know we have a lot to talk about, but I just had a very interesting conversation with one of my coworkers and his son. Um, I think it's son. I'm pretty sure son. I don't remember if he said it was son or daughter, but they ended up getting autism, a form of autism. They said there's many forms. I don't know much about autism. I don't know how you get it. I don't know when you get it as a person. But we had a really long, interesting conversation, and he is pro vaccines, and he started off anti. When all that stuff happened, because he said that his child was progressing in an early age, got some vaccines at an age, and then started going backwards, regressed, and has autism full on. And he said also that he was, he blamed it on the vaccines initially, but eventually he said he did some history, some family history, and he found out that autism ran in the family tree. So that kind of changed his mind a little bit. And that's a sensitive subject, dude. If one of my kids, develop something like that, it would be hard to have a conversation, especially with someone who's not a scientist and they just have an opinion. That's probably be really hard to do. So I don't really want to go in on that. I just kind of wanted to share that because I found that really interesting. Because I think, like many of the people who are anti-vaccines, because of issues like that, they kind of use that with good reason to fuel their anger and their reproach in that area.
No, yeah.
I just thought that was
No, yeah. I took.
I don't go down the road because we're not scientists. We don't know.
Right.
But we do have opinions.
Right.
And I told him straight up. He said, I'm gonna go with the person coming up in the election. I'm gonna go with the person who is pro-vaccine.
Pro-mandatory vaccine or just pro-vaccine?
What?
Well, I think the contention here is that
Pedro said pro-vaccine generally or pro-mandatory vaccine.
In general,
Because
I don't think
and Biden are both pro-vaccine in this case.
I forget because the conversation transitioned so quickly. I don't remember if it was mandatory or not, but for sure I said that if it does become mandatory, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, I would just answer if I would take the vaccine. I'm just gonna be waiting for like that 1,000 after 1,000 other people go. I want to get that nice body ahead of me to see what's happening with them first and give them a couple months. And then if everybody's saying it's chill, I might get it. I don't know.
Yeah, so a couple things before we move on, because like Zach said, we got a lot to cover. So one, the efficacy of the vaccine right now, the threshold is 50%. So they only have to have or surpass a 50% efficacy threshold for it to go into market. Or to go out to the general public. To me, that's a coin toss. We could sit here, flip a coin, heads or tails. That's 50%. That doesn't seem like great odds. Number one. Number two, when it comes to the vaccine injuries and things like that, yeah, I'm not going to get into it because I'm not a scientist like Zach said, and I also don't have a super strong position. Anyways, but there's a national vaccine injury compensation program that does exist. So we'll post a link to that in the description. But there are big payouts for vaccine injuries that do occur, and that's kind of where I'll leave it at. And you guys could do the research on how those things are paid out and who produces the vaccines. All you got to find out is do a tiny bit of research, and you'll learn that Big Pharma are the manufacturers for our vaccines.
Gotcha. Now let's get into the debate. Everybody wants to know about the debate, Andrew. And this is kind of perfect because I want to know where you stand. Who do you think won that debate? Like, if you're looking at it.
Honestly, it was so like let's just look at how it went down, right? It was a terrible, terrible debate in terms of they're just arguing over each other. Trump is constantly cutting Biden and the moderator off. I was like, bro, you got to let somebody talk. So aside from that, I thought both of them had extremely weak arguments, and they honestly didn't really say a whole lot. Like Biden is over here backpedaling and cloaking everything in a whole bunch of vagueness. Like he's saying, "Oh, if I was the president, there wouldn't have been this many deaths." And then, but he was like, "I would have had a plan." But you could tell he actually didn't have any type of plan, or else he would have expanded upon that. So he's really just saying in conjecture, I would have had a plan if I were the president, but since I wasn't the president, I had no plan. So Biden didn't do great. He could have hit Trump in a lot of different ways, I think, but he just didn't execute well. And Trump, same thing. I don't think he executed very well either. Like, he had the opportunity to really hammer some stuff home, and he just didn't. Like, there was so many opportunities where he could have defended himself better and where he could have gone on the offensive better against Biden, but he kind of just kept saying the same thing. Both of them kind of just kept saying the same thing, which was nothing.
Trump literally says the same thing, and he tries to use as many different words as possible, which is like his vocabulary seems like it's probably like it's similar to mine. He's probably got like 50 words that he shifts around in different ways, and he's just, he says the same sentence with maybe a one word difference 10 times.
Yep.
Well, let's try and do it this
I
way.
can't
Let's
say
try and do
there's
it.
a clear winner. Honestly, they're both bad.
Thank you. That's actually my same answer. That's my same exact answer. And honestly, I would just say this. I would rather want a debate where Joe Rogan is hosting it, because what was happening. Sorry, guys. My roommates are saying I'm a little loud right now. But my opinion is, I didn't like the moderator. I think what should have happened this entire time was Joe Rogan made an offer for them to come on to his podcast and go out and just have at it. I'd rather see that happen.
I know this is 2020, but bro, we can't have Joe Rogan hosting presidential.
Why?
They said it, right? Trump agreed to it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
But dude,
So what?
I mean, I know Joe Rogan is huge, but come on. What is this coming to if we're going to let Joe Rogan start hosting presidential debates?
It's coming to 2021. That's what it's coming
brings
to.
down the veil. It brings down the veil is what it does.
Hey,
It
but
gets
I
rid
actually
of all-
thought the moderator did good. He was asking tough questions to both of them.
Was he? Because every time I heard him disputing, it was towards Trump. I know Trump
Yep.
was interrupting every single time he had an opportunity to, but it seemed like he was. I didn't hear him really dispute what Biden was saying. It was just, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I caught the second half because my wife was watching it. But
I thought he did good because he asked Biden directly about Antifa and him renouncing it. He asked Biden about Portland and the state of Oregon generally, like, hey, have you even talked to the mayor of Portland, or have you called the governor of Oregon, who are both Democrats? Have you talked to them about their riots? And Biden starts backpedaling. So he asked those questions. He questioned him about his economic policies and his taxation ideas. And Biden starts going down a path, and he's like, he didn't say with all due respect, but I think he said, respectfully, sir, I did ask you about taxation, not what you're talking about. So if you could get to it, that would be So I thought he kept them both pretty honest.
But can I say one thing? The first question was this: is it ethical, and where is it written in the law for you guys to be able to put a justice in the seat at this time? And then Trump answered directly with a cogent answer saying, yes, we have the White House, which means we have the seat. We have the Senate. By law, we are allowed to select somebody. It goes through a vote, which happens to be in our favor. If it was the other way around, you would have done the same thing. But guess what? We get to place him in the seat. We get to place that person in the seat, and it's over. The only reason why we're arguing about this is because you guys aren't in the position to do it, is what Trump said. And then he cut it. And then if you look at Biden's answer, it drifted. It's confusing.
Nothing.
He drifted into weirdness.
He didn't say anything meaningful. All he basically said was, you guys really should wait because we don't have the position to appoint who we want. That's essentially what he said.
He was making a moral.
I was just saying he twisted it around to say we're very close to the election, and if a Democrat gets elected, that means the people want a Democrat in office, which means we should let the people vote on who should be in this seat in the future rather than in the present. So he's basically saying we should wait till the election because then the people can vote on who they want as president and who's going to take office, Democrats or Republicans. But that's just false, because then Trump, he responded, he's like, remember, I do have office for 4 years, not 3. Like, I'm going to work for the full 4 years here.
Directly quoting Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Like,
hey,
what?
Yeah, it was nonsense.
What's awful about this, and the reason why I would like Joe Rogan to host a debate, Andrew, is because this guy this is my number 2 question that I really paid attention to. He asked Biden about the riots and the protesters, right? And Biden gives a total like tiptoe around BS the question answer, right? And then he cuts it off, not giving Trump a chance to respond to what he just said, right? Dude, if you were in the Joe Rogan podcast, guess what? When you say that kind of stuff, Joe goes in on you. And in my opinion, he deserved to get gone in on, but he just said, and I'm going to leave it go on to the next question. It's like, dude, that's one of the most important things that are happening right now, because people who are in those cities that are being attacked right now are scared and trying to figure out what to do. And now you have a chance where the possible president and the actual president can give their cogent opinion on it of what should be done in that state right in front of each other. No fence up, just who has the right answer. And he cuts it off. Why?
And so why is the question?
Yeah.
The answer would have to be because they did agree to a debate framework going into it, and they got 2 minutes to respond, and then there's open time where they get to kind of debate back and forth, and he's just responsible for keeping the conversation on track, right? So he's not just going to let them go for like 5 minutes on one question if the time's up. So he's like, we got to move on. We got to keep it moving, you know? Like if they had unlimited airtime to go back and forth in a 3-hour Joe Rogan podcast, yes. But, I mean, he has a job to do as the moderator to keep things on track, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you see that meme or video on Instagram where it's like the debate last night, and it was Ric Flair saying woo and the other guy, and they were trying to out woo each other, and then it was all woo, and then the other guy goes woo, and they just keep going back and forth trying to go louder.
That's basically what happened. It was a disgrace. And Biden, I think, because Trump comes from a business world, right, where he's just trying to be cutthroat and a savage. So he goes in there basically being his savage self, and it threw Biden off his game, I think. Like, he got shook. He got shook real quick, and he got thrown off his game, and he couldn't think anymore, and he just kind of went off the rails. I think he kind of got distracted, and we got 10 minutes left. So can we just talk about some notable moments? Like, This was a disgrace, but it was hilarious. Okay, so at one point, Biden says something, and Trump says, "Nobody cares, Joe. Nobody cares." And I was just like,
He doesn't, dude. Trump doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about the 2 minutes. He doesn't. I don't even think he cares about the election, dude. He's just in there to just.
Whoa.
That's why he got elected in the first place. He's literally just in there to talk.
but that had me cracking up. I'm like, dang, this was hilarious. Okay,
Something you say in high school
yeah,
when someone's.
and then I thought this was. I was kind of just scratching my head because Biden was talking about Trump not paying taxes, and he literally didn't say that it's because Trump does anything illegal. He said it's because Trump uses the tax code. And I'm like, hold up. You're trying to tell me that he uses the tax code that has been legally sketched out in his favor, and you're mad about that? Like, and then Trump says, well, you created that tax code and I've just used it. Like, and I mean, I made some revisions when I came into office, and I was like, dude, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that Trump doesn't pay that much taxes because he records like so much losses. Like, if you read some in-depth stories on him, he's not the greatest businessman in the world. He has a lot of losses that he accounts for.
Yeah.
So,
But
Yeah, like
then-
he says too, he paid millions of dollars every year.
Yeah, that cat is on. There's pictures of him doing donations too, that I've seen online. So, the part where he brought that up, I'm glad Andrew said it, because you kind of took the wind out of my sail for me. But it's okay. I'm fine with you bringing it out. It makes zero sense what this guy was saying on the stage. Every time he spoke, he was either backpedaling stuff that usually the Democratic Party was promoting. Example, the Green New Deal. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, he is not with the Green New Deal, and he's with the Biden deal. And I was like, I've never even heard of the Biden deal. What is this? What?
super low key, not polished up, I think.
So you just have an individual who doesn't really he's on a team that this is where I feel bad for him, and I think he is an old man that's being used and abused by the Democrats as it's the Harris Biden campaign, not the Biden Harris campaign. I think he's just being used because really you see this man, and if you really listen to what he says, none of it before this debate they even upheld even slightly.
Said check him for an earpiece. Yeah, he said check Biden's team for earpieces. Didn't want to do it, Joe.
Oh man. So to me that was disgraceful. Like, how are you just gonna say that he leverages the current tax code well? So did you just give him props, low key? Like, okay. He did say that that's the reason that it needed to be revised, but whatever. So I thought this was good from Biden. He said, "You're the worst president that America has ever had." Just straight up, like,
I heard that.
shots fired, does not care. These dudes hate each other, and it's super clear.
They really do hate each other.
Yeah.
And that's a lie, bro. I'm not gonna repeat the stats, but there are clear things you can look up online, everyone out there, that shows clearly because of his business savviness, he has been able to create opportunities for a lot of people here. I'm sorry, but he is
I don't
not
agree
the
with this
worst
statement.
president. Yeah, he's not. The
I
worst
don't
president.
How Trump told wait, what are those guys called? The Proud Boys? Is it the
Yeah.
Proud Boys?
He said,
Okay,
"Stand by."
did you hear
Stand by.
No, I didn't hear him.
You guys just hold on, stand by. That's it.
Well, dude, this is why I'm not like totally. The Proud Boys, I'm a dual character with, because it's like I don't condone you going out and hunting down and beating up people, right? I don't condone it at all. I condemn it. But if you see where they go, they're not just going to, random peaceful neighborhoods and hunting people down. They're going into zones where people's businesses or neighborhoods are being flooded by Antifa or, these rioters. I won't even say Antifa. I'll just call them all rioters. And they're the response to them is what I'm seeing. But I don't even know, even after you're supposed to do that, because like we said, the Batman protocol is shut down, ladies and gentlemen. We're not supposed to be doing this. So they need to step back, dude. Stop. Because honestly, they are playing into the game of adding into the chaos, which I know they don't want to do, because if you hear their spokesperson
Are
talk.
you sure?
Huh? I'm sorry?
I said, are you sure?
Well, I think there was an interview with one of their leaders, and they said, "Hey, we are purely responding to people just trying to tear our neighborhoods apart, tear our cities apart. That's all we're responding to." And he doesn't say that verbatim, but I wish I could. I'm not gonna look it up now, but I'll link it to you guys in the description. I'll look for it, and you can just see.
This is no doubt the craziest year of our lives.
Oh yeah.
Pedro,
Are you guys
do
enjoying
agree
it
or
though? I agree,
Dude,
but are you enjoying it?
I've had a lot of blessings this year, so I can't complain. I don't have COVID. I've had a lot of good things happen, but I mean, we got the billion tree project going on. We got Biden wearing earpieces going on, and also, doing Biden things, and we got a lot of stuff going on.
All right. Yes, that's true. I say it's the craziest year ever for
I
me
agree.
in my lifetime. I've never seen a crazier year, and I don't think people far older than us have ever seen a crazier year. I mean, you go back to world wars, and even like those years were filled with turmoil and destruction. But I don't think they're as like crazy and almost mind-blowing, as what we're going through right now.
It's like they got together and they said, let's combine the whole century and put it in 1 year. We got the early 1900s or 1920s or something with the Spanish flu. Everyone's wearing masks. Everyone's getting sick. Boom. We got the late 50s, 60s with all of the riots going on, the racial riots going on, people getting jacked up. Same thing. It's the same thing. If you look at pictures from back then, the same exact thing's going on. You got the 1993, I think, 1992. Rodney King riots. They combined all of those things together and said 2020. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
It's nothing new, but it's just all
It's just
combined.
all happening at the same time. Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, so I just want to go back to the Proud Boys, and I know that I don't know if this is true or not, but they're supposedly, and I don't know if they claim this, but they have ties to white supremacy. So anybody who's got ties to white supremacy, man, I ain't down with that. Dude.
They don't have ties to white supremacy. That's just propaganda.
Okay, I mean, I
Or
haven't
you know,
done research.
I can say I have, and you know what? Never mind. I forgot. Everybody's a white supremacist now. So.
Well, that's not true, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about true white supremacists. And like I said, I haven't done the research on them, but we could do that for another day. We've only got 1 minute left. I want to get to the two funniest quotes that I think happened. Trump response to something that Biden said: "In 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe." Okay, and then Joe Biden at one point says, "Well, it's hard to get any word in with this clown," and then he backpedals and he's like, "This guy." I'm like, man, this is a straight up.
I thought you did that on purpose.
No, you could tell he slipped up when you're watching the whole debate, because obviously, regardless of how you feel about the current president of the United States, people aren't generally going out and straight up disrespecting him on national television.
So he showed his true colors. Showed who he really was for a second.
Hey, Trump got under his skin, big time.
Well, it's easy.
Like when he was little girls on national television.
Exactly.
And he slipped up then too.
Exactly,
Biden.
bro. I'm surprised he didn't go in more on that.
Dude, Trump.
We didn't even get to
The girls,
RBG,
dude.
and we're about out of time.
Joe
2
Rogan, please
seconds.
take over.
Time expired. We didn't even get to RBG, but man,
Let's talk about the billions and billions and billions of trees we're planting next time.
So
That
I can
time
stop
will quit.
recording now, right?
yeah. Well, let's just say thanks everybody for listening. Make sure you go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, your favorite podcast platform. We're probably there. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about Trump getting COVID, about mandatory vaccines, about our homeboy riding his skateboard on the freeway, and about the debates.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah, guys. And remember, just, chill out on some juice and listen to some Stevie Nicks. Fleetwood will take you away to some better places. Signing out.